Near the town center of Pietravairano, near Caserta, the area of Monte San Nicola had long been known to archaeologists for the presence of Samnite fortification walls on the western slope of the relief. In recent years, the archaeological interest of the area has increased and taken on particular significance following the discovery of an important sanctuary complex. The latter has been the subject of excavation campaigns, conducted since 2002 by the Soprintendenza per I Beni Archeologici of the provinces of Naples and Caserta, and since 2005 by the latter and the University of Salento. The scientific directors of the investigations are, for the superintendency, Dr. Francesco Serrano, and, for the university, Professor Gianluca Tagliamont. In 2001, a monumental and scenic sanctuary complex was identified in the area of Monte San Nicola, close to the historic center of Pietravairano. This was the subject of excavation campaigns, first conducted on 2002 by the Superintendency of Archaeological Heritage of the provinces of Naples and Caserta, then, since 2005, by agreement, by the latter and the University of Salento. The scientific supervisors of the investigations are, for the superintendency, Dr. Francesco Serrano, and for the university, Mr. Gianluca Tagliamonti. Pietravairano, 3,200 inhabitants, 250 meters altitude, is located in the province of Caserta, about 42 kilometers north of the provincial capital. Its historical center, of medieval origin, rises on the eastern ridge of Mount Chiavala, 588 meters altitude, a few kilometers away from an important crossing point of the Volturno River. Populated since ancient times, the territory of Pietravairano belonged in pre-Roman times to the most important of the Samnite tribes, the Pentria. Fully invested in the warlike events of the Samnite Wars, this territory then passed, shortly before the middle of the 3rd century BC, under the control of Rome. To the east of the historic center of Pietravairano, a short distance from it, rises Mount San Nicola, 562 meters altitude. It is part of a limestone ridge, known as the Monte di Pietravairano, which, with an elongated course and southwest-northeast orientation, moves from the plain of Verano Patenora in the direction of the Volturno River. On the western slope of Monte San Nicola are the remains of Samnite fortification walls, built in polygonal work, so-called first way, and arranged at different elevations. This fortification, the existence of which had been known for some time, is connected, at least topographically, to several other centers and fortified posts located on the surrounding heights. In the same area of Monte San Nicola, thanks to a report made by Professor Lombardi, in the autumn of 2001 it was possible to identify a monumental and scenic sanctuary of the late Republican age, 2nd to 1st century BC, near the height marked by 409 meters ASL. This is centered on a complex consisting of a temple and a theater, placed on terraces on different levels. The identification of the complex was followed, between February and April 2002, by an initial partial exploration of the area, aimed essentially at the acquisition of informative and documentary elements useful for the drafting of an excavation and enhancement project for the sanctuary, as well as the first indispensable restoration work on the ancient walls. The restart of the investigations in May 2005 was aimed at completing the operations already begun and, by means of excavation essays, at clarifying the stratigraphic sequence, the architectural articulation of the complex, and the building technique employed. The construction of a temple and a theater next to each other is not only a topographic and spatial choice but a functional and symbolic as well. It responds to an architectural scheme already defined. Roman theater temple used in the architecture of the shrines Lazio region and center of Italy, and probably has the meaning of a statement of identity in the local Roman sense. The temple stands at the highest point of the hill, in the middle of an artificial terrace, about 24 meters on each side, which regularized its profile and is partly supported by a mighty wall in opus incertum of local limestone. The latter collapsed on the south side, partly as a result of the cannonade to which the area was subjected by Allied troops in October 1943. The temple, 13.60 meters in width, 11.40 meters in length, is a Tuscanic building with a triple room. Of it, built without foundations, only a few rows of the elevation are preserved. In the central part, traces of medieval reoccupation have been found. Of the theater below, located some 20 meters below, both the cavea with a radius of 21.5 meters and the stage building remain clearly recognizable. Due to its structural characteristics, the building can be ascribed to that category of so-called Greek-Roman theaters, clearly inspired by Greek architecture in southern Italy, of which we have several significant examples in Campania and Sannio. The remains of the stage building, of which parts of the elevated back wall are also preserved, are located at the extreme southeastern edge of the lower terrace. On several floors, the stage building is buttressed on the southern side by 4 imposing turrets with a semicircular plan. Thanks to the synergy between the superintendent, the university, and the city hall, the archaeological site of Monte San Nicola will soon be the subject of further investigation and remediation. Aim of the project is to proceed with the excavation of the whole area, restoration, even partially reconstruction of ancient structures, accommodation and the safety of the area, the creation of an archaeological and natural park, the accomplished scientific addition of the complex.